a warrior? A warrior is a fighter. See, if you cannot fight, you are not qualified to be a warrior. You know, I said something on Tuesday. I said a warrior is one who is familiar with the battlefield. If you're not familiar with the battlefield and you go to the battlefield as a warrior, you will lose. Not just losing, you will carry injury. You will come back being a wounded warrior. So how can you be familiar to the battlefield? You can be familiar with the battlefield when you undergo training, when you undergo necessary trainings. You know, I gave an example on Tuesday. I said, for instance, now you see footballers, a group of footballers, a team of footballers, you know, they have competition and they go on training. So once they go on training, where do they train? They train on the field. They train on the field where they will also play the competition. It might not be the place where the competition will be done, but it is a field. So they get familiar to the field. You cannot expect them to be training in this place and then on the day of competition go to the field to play. They will lose. So they train in a familiar place. You must be sharpened. Battle axe. Do you know when you want to use? Okay, let us even come down to a knife. When a knife is dull, you know, when the knife is very, very dull, you won't enjoy the knife or you want to use to cut anything. Even scissors, you won't enjoy the scissors. Why? Because it is dull. Until you sharpen it. You know, we can sharpen knives. So as a battle axe, you need to be sharpened. You need to be sharpened. This is just an introductory message. I'm just introducing you to some terminologies that you should understand. So I want you to understand that God is a warrior. You know, we call him Jagun. He is a warrior, destroyer of what? Of evil. God is a warrior. And he's calling you as his child into the position of a warrior. He's bringing you to that point where you become a warrior for him, where you also fight for him. So you have to sharpen your axe to pull down kingdoms. Sharpen your axe to pull down iniquities. You know, I want us to open to the book of Romans 8:19 and 21. Do you know why I said you should sharpen your axe to pull down kingdoms? Why? Because creatures are waiting for your manifestation. What do we mean by manifestation? Manifestation is, you know, come to being. When something happens, creation are waiting for your manifestation. Romans 8. I want to read that part for you. Romans 8:19. I will read it from my hand here because I want to explain. So it says 19, for the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestations of the sons of God. Why are they waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God? 21. Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. So these creations are in bondage and they are crying, they are groaning for your manifestation to bring them out of that bondage. When we say warrior, I'm not telling you to carry sword and go to a battlefront and start fighting. You can be the warrior in your family. You see, some of you, your family is going through that situation because you've refused to stand as a warrior. You stand and say, no, not under my watch will it be like this. Because some of you, God has raised you as priest over that home, but you are still sleeping. And when the priest of that home is still sleeping, what will happen? A whole lot of things will befall. So now the creation is awaiting. That workplace you are, God has placed you there for a reason. Go there and deliver some people. But because you are not awakened, you can't even know who God is leading you to. You know, once you align with God and He speaks to you, you will be able to know. You know, Rising of Deborahs actual date of anniversary is November 27. That was 2 days ago. I was sharing a story of how I finally picked the call. And, God has been calling me for the past 8 years. I kept running. Until 4 years ago, I said, okay, answer. God placed me in a school 4 years ago to serve. But I never wanted to serve in a school. I wanted to serve in a radio station. And I kept, running. And everyone around me kept saying, there is a reason why you are here. There's no time I share the story of rising of Deborah's bed. And I don't mention the name of Pastor Joseph Alodo. And that's why you see him. You keep seeing him every year. Because if not that he released himself to be used by God for me. So, we keep this to me like there's a reason. Pick up. God has called you. Pick. I said, I'm not picking. I want to enjoy life. I just want to be a normal Christian. Go to church and do this. It was a day to my POP. Well, I was ready. Okay, God, speak. And that was when he opened my eyes. In my class, there are several girls he wanted me to reach out to. And I was done. I had signed out from the school. And the following day was my POP. I wasted a year in that school. But did I go back? I went back. Pastor Joseph Alodo told me, Ella, you're going there. Even though you've signed out from that school, you're going there. Those girls, go and meet them. And he just revealed their faces to me. He did not tell me anything. I said, okay, you revealed these faces to me. What am I going to speak when I tell them? He said, oh. And when they sat in my front, I called them one after the other. It was just a simple question I asked, and they started pouring out. And I was angry with myself that for a whole year I could have nurtured and guided these ones through this phase. But I was so blind enough to see. And that's what pushed me into being a purpose discovery coach. I love it when young ones catches that vision early. You're not too young to catch the vision. You are not too young to lead others. Don't let anyone deceive you. You are not too young to catch the vision. You are not too young to lead others. That was what affected me. I kept saying, I'm still a small girl though. I'm just a small girl. Why would I be going? And as I then, God was pushing me. Whenever they call me for ministration, I will be ministering to mommies and daddies. I'm like, what? But you're not too young. You're not too young to be that warrior. You're not too young to stand and fight. You are not too young to bring your family out of that predicament. See, let me tell you something. If your family is going through a phase right now, it is because of you have refused to rise. You have refused to stand. So I am telling you right now, it is your fault. It is your fault. If your family is going through a fix right now, you who he has called, like, I want you to stand in gap for this. When was the last time you stood in gap for your family? When was the last time you prayed? Like, you woke up in the middle of the night and you began to prophesy from your father to your mother. Do you think you are too young to pray for your parent? No. There are sometimes when things are looking funny. Even my dad. My Yoruba name is Anolu Apo. He'll be like, Anu, pray, this. Why? Because I have taken up that post. And they know, they are aware of it. That is why they can come and meet me and say, pray. So it is time for you to wake up. Warriors are sleeping. God is looking for warriors. He said, thou art my battle axe. Are you truly his battle axe? Or are you ready to be used to fight? Are you ready to be used to fight? See, I want you to know that the moment you become a warrior, he said you are his battle axe, meaning that you are walking directly under him. So he is the one leading you through. He is the one fighting through you. You're not the one fighting. And that's why we say that when you fight, we are fighting battles, you stand in the place of victory. You fight a battle from the place of victory. Why? Because you are not the one fighting. It is he who is fighting. That's why, the scripture says that for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but they are what? Mighty through who? God. It can only become mighty through him. So without God, the weapon is useless. Meaning without God backing you up, you as a weapon, you are weaponless. You as a weapon, you won't be able to fight. And once you become a weapon, you no longer live your days. You live God's days. And you have to always align. What is the word now? What am I fighting against? Some of you, he has called you as a warrior into the children ministry. See, a lot of children are wasting away because you have refused to pick it up. You have refused to pick it up. He has called you that standing up for the children. Make sure that these children do not go the wrong way. Make sure that these children are guided. I have called you some teenage ministry, but no. So this is a call. This is a call. It's calling you to rise. It said, awake. I love that song so much. Awake, awake, soldier, awake. The time we've been waiting for is now. So if you've been sleeping, warriors don't sleep. I hope you know. Even if warriors sleep on Sunwara, I'm talking physically now, because normally they have to sleep physically, right? On Sunwara, any sound like this, they wake up. Warriors are always at alert. If you are a warrior and you are not sensitive, you will come out from the battlefield wounded. Because as a warrior, you have to be sensitive. You have to always be aligned in the spirit. You have to know. You have to be able to discern what is what is what. You should be able to discern as a warrior. And I said something on Tuesday. I'm going to say it again. Warriors don't quit. See, you can't come to the conclusion and say, Shemo. No. Until the battle is over, warriors don't quit. You see warriors retreat, but they don't retreat to quit. They retreat to refire. They retreat to go back and re-strategize. Okay, why is this war difficult? What is happening? What am I supposed to do better? Oh yeah, God, my chief commandant. What should I do? Lead me right. And they go back refired and re-strategized. So, quitting is not in the dictionary of a warrior. Warriors don't what? They don't quit. So if you have the intention, like, well, there are many times I've wanted to quit. I will not lie. I can just wake up in the middle of the night and just start crying. God, I'm not doing again. I cannot say the story of rising of Deborahs without mentioning the two ministers coming today. That's why if you notice they were, both of them were present second year, third year, and now. I won't even open my mouth to say that I'm not doing again. God, in his infinite mercy, because he so much loves me, we speak to them wherever they are. Me, I'm in Lagos, one is in Ogun State, one is in Ibadan. They will call me. What is wrong with you? That is why it is good to have spiritual friends. As a warrior, warriors should be your friends. Warriors, when we say that, okay, the kind of friends you keep, hey, but can't we be friends with them to bring them? If you know that your capacity is not strong enough, don't go. Because some people will say they want to be their friends to bring them in, but at the end of the day, it's those friends that will not bring them to their own world. So if your capacity is not enlarged, iron what? Sharpened iron. What is a warrior? What talk are you talking with someone who is not a warrior? Stand up as we round off. Say, Lord, open my eyes to see. Open my eyes, Lord. I want to know. Oh, Jesus, open my eyes to see. I want to know what you have called me for. So for some of you that don't even know yet, don't know purpose, begin to tell God. Say, God, open my eyes. Open my eyes. And for those of you that have received it but you lack boldness, begin to pray that God should give you boldness. Warriors, there is no fear in their DM. There is no fear in their dictionary. There is no fear in their language. They They are bold, they are courageous, they are audacious. Tell God to give you that courage. We know of Deborah in the Bible. Deborah was courageous. Now begin to tell God, God, give me that courage. Lord, give me that courage.